There is a moment in life when you grow tired of being wounded by words, betrayed by expectations, and shaken by the opinions of others. You begin to ask yourself a deeper question. Why does this hurt so much? Why does someone else's behavior have the power to disturb your peace? This is where the journey begins. Not in blaming the world, not in changing people, but in understanding yourself. Carl Jung believed that the greatest source of suffering is not the world outside of you, but the unconscious parts within you. The parts you avoid, the parts you deny, the parts you refuse to face. Jung taught that what hurts you most is often a reflection of something unhealed within. When someone criticizes you and it pierces deeply, it may be because it touches a hidden insecurity. When someone rejects you and it shatters you, it may awaken an old fear of not being enough. The world becomes a mirror, and the mirror only reflects what already exists inside. This is not weakness. This is awareness waiting to happen. Most people spend their lives trying to control others so they can feel safe. They try to explain themselves. They try to defend their choices. They try to prove their worth. But the more you seek validation outside, the more fragile you become. Jung believed that true strength comes from individuation, from becoming whole, from integrating the parts of yourself you once rejected. When you accept your shadow, no one can use it against you. Your shadow is not evil. It is simply the side of you that was judged, silenced, or shamed. Maybe you were told you were too emotional, too ambitious, too quiet, too different, so you hid those parts. But what you hide does not disappear. It waits, and when someone triggers it, you react intensely because you are defending something you have not yet accepted. Imagine a person who has faced their fears honestly. A person who knows their flaws and has made peace with them. When insulted, they do not crumble. When misunderstood, they do not panic. When rejected, they do not lose themselves. Why? Because their identity is not built on approval. It is built on self-knowledge. Nothing and nobody can hurt you when you no longer depend on them to define you. This does not mean you become cold or emotionless. It means you become conscious. You feel pain, but it does not control you. You experience disappointment, but it does not define you. Jung believed that suffering becomes transformative when you bring it into awareness. When you ask yourself, what is this teaching me about myself? What part of me is reacting? What wound is asking to be healed? Healing begins when you stop running from discomfort. When you sit with it, when you observe it without judgment. Instead of saying, "They hurt me," you begin to ask, "Why did this affect me so deeply?" This shift changes everything. You reclaim your power. You stop being a victim of circumstances and start becoming a student of your own psyche. There is a powerful freedom in realizing that people can only trigger what already lives inside you. If someone calls you incompetent and you know your worth, their words pass through you like wind. But if you secretly doubt yourself, their words feel like daggers. The work is not to silence everyone. The work is to strengthen your inner foundation. Jung spoke about the persona, the mask we wear to be accepted. Many of us live through this mask. We present a version of ourselves we think the world will love. But the more attached you are to your mask, the more terrified you become of losing it. and anyone who challenges it feels like a threat. When you drop the mask and embrace who you truly are, criticism loses its sting. You cannot be hurt in the same way when you stop pretending. When you stop seeking applause. When you stop explaining your existence. The person who knows themselves deeply does not need constant reassurance. They move quietly. They stand firmly. They are not easily shaken because they are rooted within. There is also the matter of projection. Jung taught that people project their unresolved issues onto others. Sometimes the anger directed at you has nothing to do with you. It is someone else's shadow speaking. When you understand this, you stop internalizing everything. You begin to see that much of what people say is a confession of their own inner struggles. This awareness creates compassion, not resentment. You realize that hurt people hurt people. And healed people heal people. You choose which one you want to be. If you react unconsciously, you continue the cycle. If you respond consciously, you break it. To reach a place where nothing and nobody can truly hurt you, you must become psychologically independent. This means you take responsibility for your emotions. Not in a way that blames you, but in a way that empowers you. You understand that your reactions belong to you, and therefore, you have the power to transform them. Many people fear looking inward because they are afraid of what they will find. But what you avoid controls you. What you confront frees you. Jung believed that the privilege of a lifetime is becoming who you truly are. And who you truly are is far more resilient than you think. When you integrate your shadow, embrace your authenticity, and build your identity from within, the world loses its power to destabilize you. Insults become noise. Rejection becomes redirection. Failure becomes feedback. You are no longer fragile because your worth is not negotiable. This is not about building walls. It is about building depth. It is about knowing yourself so thoroughly that external events cannot shake your core. You become like a tree with deep roots. The storm may bend you, but it cannot break you. And if this message resonates with you, if you are ready to reclaim your power and become emotionally unshakable, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Like this video. Comment your thoughts below. Join a community that chooses growth over weakness and awareness over reaction. The journey inward is not easy, but it is liberating. Every trigger is an invitation. Every wound is a doorway. Every challenge is a mirror. When you choose to look into that mirror honestly, you stop fearing it. You stop blaming it. You start learning from it. Nothing and nobody will ever hurt you again, not because the world has changed, but because you have. Because you have faced yourself. Because you have accepted yourself. Because you have integrated the parts of you that once felt broken. And when you stand whole within yourself, the world can no longer fracture you.